headphones and rock like that. So I'm actually going to start over just in case you guys didn't hear anything that I just said. So, if you are trying to figure out what education, position, role, job, institution, or organization that you should apply to, remain at, or depart from in your life right now, you're going to want to learn this principle that helped change the trajectory of my life. And by knowing this, you can make more informed choices for your future and also leverage every lesson, role, season, position, class, job, whatever it is, into an opportunity that actually helps you push forward the vision you have for your life, even if that season or situation or circumstance is not ideal. So, to give a quick backstory on this, so you know where I'm coming from, when I was about 22 ish, I essentially had like an early quarter life crisis, questioning whether I was in the right place in my life, whether I was doing the things I needed to do to get where I wanted to go in my life. And it also didn't help that I didn't quite know where I wanted to go with my life. I was just pretty clear on like what I didn't want to do with my life. And if that resonates with you, this video is for you. If that just doesn't make any sense to you, maybe hang around, but it might not be for you. So I want to show you how to use this principle that looks pretty much like this, or it's upside down, like this, which is basically just like three circles and a dot. I know it doesn't really make any sense. I will explain how this works and show you how this can be applied to your everyday life. So essentially, this is it, guys. I'm going to just get straight to the point. This is a concept called the golden circle. The golden circle. And what these three circles mean is the golden circle. The outside circle is what. The middle circle is how. And the the inner circle is why. The outer one is what, the middle one is how, the inner one is why. So basically, this is a concept from the author and speaker Simon Sinek. He has a very popular book called Start With Why, and he talks about the golden circle. You might have even heard this in your company or organization if you work in the corporate space. Most companies or organizations start with what? What do we do? What do we sell? What products or service do we provide to the market? And then they go through, well, how are we going to provide that product or service? And then they say, maybe if they even get here, why are we providing this product or service? And basically, Simon Sinek's point is if you want to sell more product, if you want your company to have more longevity, if you want your organization to be a thriving one that has people who love to come to work every day, you need to start with why. Because if you talk about the meaning of why paper is important for capturing the ideas that change society at large, every great thought was caught on a piece of paper. And that piece of paper ultimately went on to change the world rather than we sell paper for the lowest price on the market. Well, that doesn't really get people to buy into your vision, whether you're an employee on the inside or you're a consumer on the outside. I much rather will go with the person who has a story that I could buy into, starting with why. Now, what does this have to do with you and your career choices if you're in your 20s or even beyond? Well, we can also do this as individuals. We can start with why. Lots of times we start with, what is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that I want to make contribute? What kind of industry or field do I want to go into? Then we start thinking about, well, how do I get into that field? How do I start that type of business, or how do I get into that industry? And we hardly ever really get to, well, why do I want to be there in the first place? What does this have to do with the inner motivations on the inside of me? And if we actually start with why, we will have a much more fulfilling career trajectory. Now, of course, this isn't something that you might find new. Okay, yeah, great. Pursue my passion. Is that what you're telling me to do? Uh, Kinda, but not quite. See, I haven't quite defined what a why is. So Simon Sinek calls a why, defines a why with this simple sentence formula: to blank so that blank. To blank so that blank. And essentially, in these blank spots is your impact and your contribution. Your impact and your contribution. And this is what you call a why statement. Now, there's a whole process that goes into this that you can find in the Find Your Why book, which is a sequel to Start With Why. This book was transformational for me and many others that have walked through the same exercise. But it will help you get to the place where you can actually say this why statement for yourself. You say, I am here to blank the impact I want to make so that blank the contribution that I want to make to society. What this can sound like for you, I'll just give you an example of mine. I am to live optimally so that others are inspired to do the same. Everything I do, pretty much at work, at home, at play, is me wanting to optimize my life. And I want to share the information that I am finding with other people so they're inspired to do the same. That's part of the reason why I'm on this YouTube stream right now. It's part of the reason why I have the Visionpreneur School, my online community. It's part of the reason why I have Build Your Vision, my podcast. It is what I love to do day in and day out. Now, how do you get to finding your why? Well, that would be need to be a whole nother video because it's an entire process that actually isn't that hard, but it does take a little commitment. But essentially, this is the steps that you walk through. I'm going to give you the three of them. First one is you gather your stories. Essentially, the concept of finding your why is that every piece of life that you have lived up to, that from the time you were born until just a second ago, has meaning. And they're core moments, key situations, memories that you have in your conscious or subconscious that were pivotal in creating who you are today. Essentially, it's your environment, your experiences, and your expertise that have built you into the human being that you presently are. And lots of times we think these things are random, coincidental, or maybe even divine in how they've progressed over time. But what you'll find is if you write down these core memories, these core moments of impact, these pivotal junctures in your life, you will see themes. That is part two. After you gather your stories, you identify your themes. I guarantee you, it will blow you out the water when you start saying, man, this moment was impactful in my life. This moment was pivotal in my life. This was a transformational juncture in my life. And they all seem to have these types of things in common. It's very interesting to see. This is what helps you write your why statement. But not only that, the themes that are left over, because you only choose one, are sent to use for your hows. This isn't just finding out what your why statement is so you can have a little pithy, cute little saying to write on your refrigerator or in your journal on your vision board. No, how are you actually going to implement it into your life? Those are what those remaining themes are used for. And you identify and pull out those themes and turn them into how or verb action statements. So some of those things for me, right? My why statement was optimally. Like that was the key theme, optimization in my story. So my why statement ended up being to live optimally so that others are inspired to do the same. But I had a lot of things left over, like um, making an impact or sharing my ideas or bringing new thoughts to the table. And these were themes that turned into my hows. I will constantly share what I am learning. I will make an impact in every space that I go into. So all these different things, and actually I can have these written down, but I didn't bring the sheet where I have all these things written down. So I might be quoting them a little off. But the point is, each time I look at those hows, I am reminded of how I can contribute to society right now, no matter what season I am in life. When I was working a dead end job, that wasn't making a lot of money, I could still do those things. Whether I'm making 10,000, 100,000, $1 million a month, I can still do those things. I can still share the things that inspire me. I can still make impact in every room that I'm in. I can still make sure that I am living optimally no matter what part of life I am in with the resources that I have. This is so key because it gives you clarity on the things that you should say no to and the things that you should say yes to. So, I know I kind of just dropped a lot on you, but I wanted to share this concept with you because this is something I wish I knew earlier in my 20s. This will help you make better informed decisions because you know yourself more, you know where you're trying to go more, and you know how your past is informing your present, which will lead to your future. If you want to go through this process yourself, you can I condensed it all into a class essentially. So I took this book and I condensed it into an easy class that you can take so you don't have to read the entire book. It's completely free. Go to buildyourvisionpodcast.com/community. It's inside my community called Visionpreneur School. This is a community, a home for visionaries who want to make impact and income with their ideas, insights, and influence, but they're looking for more clarity. If that's you, you could go in there. It's called the Find Your Why Challenge. This is all free. I'm asking nothing of you. Just take it, please use it because I think it can help you. And you can go through that Find Your Why challenge. I highly, highly encourage you to go through this process. Lastly, how can this golden circle principle implement into your daily life, right? Number one, and these are just a few, these are not all of them. But when you start with why and not what, it sets you apart. Just imagine yourself going to a job interview and then they say the legendary question that they ask in all job interviews. I have no idea why they ask this stupid question. Tell me about yourself. And that's like the most open-ended question in the world. Where did I get the book? You could get it anywhere. I mean, you could get it on Amazon, or anything. I'll put the link in the description when this video when this live finishes. But yeah, you can get it pretty much anywhere. It's called Find Your Why with Simon Sinek. For anybody that's asking in the comment section. Also, I have an entire resource library inside of Visionpreneur School where I have book recommendations and things like that as well. So get in there. The link will be in the description of this video once it's posted. But yeah, they asked this question in like these job interviews. Tell me about yourself. Imagine if you said, you know what? That's a great question. And I want to tell you a little bit more about why I do what I do. See, I am here to live optimally so that others are inspired to do the same. It's in everything that I do. And I know that inspiration and influence is a huge part of what this organization and company is about. And I want to be a part of that story. In every single room that I walk into, I want to bring optimization to that room. And this role, based on the description and the understanding that I have from your website, is exactly that. And that's why I think I could thrive in this space. That's why I think I could be a great part of this team. And it's part of the reason why I'm so excited to be sitting with you right now. Now, there are other things that I love to do. I love to play basketball. I love to sit hanging out with my friends. I love to travel. These are a few things. But imagine if you start off with the why. Automatically, you're set out apart rather than just saying what you do. Yeah, everyone has the skills that are applying for the job, but your why will set you apart because they know how you are invested. Another reason, you can fulfill your unique assignment no matter what season of life you're in. Everyone that's watching this is in a different season of life. You could be at the beginning, entry level. You could be in a transition season where you're mid career. You could be late career, retiring. That's another transition. But no matter what, your themes, your hows can be implemented. You can show up in that way no matter where you are and get the fulfillment of making that consistent contribution to society. We are called to do three things. We're called to create, we're called to connect, and we're called to contribute. If we're not doing one of those things, we feel empty inside. It's because we are. We're supposed to be doing those three things. It's baked into the creation of mankind. It's in Genesis 1 in the Bible. It's all throughout history. If you're not doing one of those three things, you're going to feel incomplete. So make sure you get your contribution down through your house. Another one, you'll outlast the competition because you're running on different fuel. People who do things for outcomes burn out fast. People who do things for whys and inputs have the long game down. Literally, you will win in life You'll beat 99% of people because you'll just outlast them. You're running on different fuel. You're not doing it for the outcome. You're doing it because you know what your why is. It's a game changer. And lastly, for this one, because this list can go on and on, but you know what to say no to and you know what to say yes to. Different opportunities will come up in your life. Some will be just binary, black or white. Some will be gray. Not everything is bad or good. Some things are okay. Some things are good. Some things are great. Some things are better. Some things are best. How do you know what to say yes to? How do you know what to say no to? Well, if you're clear on your why, you have a North Star. If you ever find yourself getting pulled off track, you can recenter yourself. If you know your hows, how you want to implement this, is that aligned with the opportunity that's presented in front of you right now? And these are just a few ways that this golden circle principle can be applied in your life. I wish I knew this earlier in my 20s. It could save a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of headache, a lot of pain. And if you want to get into this, I just really implore you, go to buildyourvisionpodcast.com/community, or just go to that website and click community. To get inside of Visionpreneur School, I have the whole Find Your Why class in there. I basically consolidated this entire book into a quick little mini class so you could do the exercise for yourself and get the results that I got and that other people have got, that I've walked through this exercise personally, and it has been life-changing for them. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.